Imagine living life on your terms, not waiting 40 years to finally be free. The Millionaire Fastlane isn't about cutting lattes or budgeting every cent, it's about creating a money machine that gives you speed, freedom, and wealth long before retirement. So, what's the secret to stepping on the fast lane, while everyone else crawls in the slow lane? You're probably thinking right now, yes, I've got it. With this book, I can become a millionaire. But here's the truth, will it actually work for you? The answer is no. And let's be honest, if you're watching this, you're not a millionaire. You've carried this dream for years. You've told yourself that one day, it will happen. But it hasn't. Why? Because you've been sold illusions. Fake gurus promise shortcuts, overnight success, and effortless wealth. But no one, not a book, not a course, not a mentor, can make you a millionaire. Here's why. What you want is an outcome. But outcomes don't just appear. They are the reaction to consistent, deliberate actions. And for most people, the action part is missing. Even worse, you can't just copy someone else's actions. Their path worked for them, because of who they are and where they started. Your path will have to be different, because it depends on your current situation, your strengths, your weaknesses, and your reality. That's the part no one tells you. To reach the outcome, you must first understand exactly where you are standing. Only then can you take the right steps forward. And here's the most important thing, you cannot only look at the dream. You must also face the dark sides. The failures, the risks, the sacrifices. Because focusing on the aim will push you forward, but knowing the harsh truths will keep you from giving up. They will strengthen your why. And that why is the only thing that will keep you moving when everything else tells you to stop. Welcome to Ease of Education, where knowledge meets clarity and growth begins. We believe true freedom, whether on field of finance, self-improvement, or entrepreneurship, it starts with the right education. That's why our mission is simple, to bring you deep, meaningful book summaries on self-improvement, entrepreneurship, and financial literacy that don't just inform, they transform. Our videos may be slightly longer, but that's because we value depth over shortcuts. We focus on giving you the full picture, not just surface-level ideas. Every video is crafted with care to help you build confidence, sharpen your thinking, and take smarter steps toward financial success. Here, it's not just about learning, it's about growing together. Subscribe and let's turn your curiosity into confidence. To extract the real value from this book, we need to approach the summary in two parts. First, we'll identify our own situation, where we currently stand. Second, we'll talk about the specific actions that can actually drive the outcome we're chasing. Because the road to wealth is not a race. It isn't about making a pile of money overnight. It's about building wealth that can be sustained. On this journey, the author describes three broad categories of people across the globe: sidewalkers, slow walkers, and fast walkers. Let's begin with the first group, the sidewalkers. These are people with no financial backup. Their spending is either equal to or even more than their earnings. You can recognize a sidewalker by a few clear characteristics. They believe credit gives them the right to buy things immediately. They treat loans as if they are a supplement to their income. They spend money like there's no tomorrow. They believe education ended with school or college. If they have money, they think the best use of it is to flaunt it. They buy lottery tickets, hoping for luck to save them. They depend on a single source of income. They live without a destination. I live for today is their mindset. And whenever life goes wrong, they blame everything and everyone else. The sidewalker lifestyle is not just financially unstable, it's a trap. And unless you recognize it, you can easily get stuck in it without even realizing. Why must a sidewalker upgrade? Because even if some of them earn good incomes, none of them ever achieve true wealth. Here's why. The moment their income rises, they immediately upgrade their lifestyle to match it. Bigger houses, newer cars, unnecessary luxuries. And when their income isn't enough, they supplement it with debt. This leaves them stressed, constantly worried about paying bills and rent, and trapped in a never-ending cycle of credit cards. At the core, the problem is simple: they are money blind. Their money equation is broken. They believe wealth equals income plus debt. But wealth has nothing to do with what you spend, it's about what you keep, grow, and sustain. Sidewalkers have no plan, no savings. They live one step away from disaster, one setback from broke. One failed business deal from broke. One layoff from broke. One financial loss away from homelessness or bankruptcy. A sidewalker is financially naked. They cannot absorb the hit of losses. They cannot survive the next recession. And what makes it worse is their environment. They surround themselves with irresponsibility and selfishness, people who reinforce poor decisions rather than challenge them. To escape this trap, a sidewalker must first face reality. They must see the truth before it's too late. And the only way forward is to correct the broken money equation, replacing short-term pleasure with long-term goals. Because without that shift, no amount of income will ever lead to real wealth. Slow walkers, the trap of the safe path. These are the people who sacrifice today in the hope of a comfortable tomorrow. They are the employees, the ones who get a job, work 5 days a week, pack their lunch, and spend their most productive years serving someone else's vision. Here are their main characteristics. They eat cheaply and save religiously. They invest from their salary. They are fans of compound interest. They delay gratification until they get old. They are mature, responsible, and disciplined. They see debt as evil. They gladly trade their time for money. They believe education is the only way to succeed in life. They settle for less, compromise, and quietly give up on big dreams. On the surface, nothing seems wrong here. In fact, being educated, responsible, and disciplined are strong qualities. But with increasing responsibilities and growing families, slow walkers often get stuck in a never-ending loop, the system. Being a slow walker isn't the real problem. The danger lies in staying in the slow lane forever. Think about it. Working 5 days a week just to enjoy 2 days off is like giving away $5 to someone and getting only 2 back in return. The trade-off is terrible. And what do you lose in the process? Time. The most valuable asset you will ever own. Here's the harsh math. Let's say you're a teacher making around $61,000 a year. After taxes and saving 10% of your income, it would take you 205 years to save just $1 million. Even if you're a pharmacist making $121,000 annually, it still takes you more than a century to save that same million. Now ask yourself honestly, do you even exist 100 years from now? This is why slow walkers must upgrade. Because despite their discipline, their exposure to new opportunities is limited. At first, a job helps you learn. But after a while, you stop growing. Then one day, you are quietly replaced by newer technologies or younger, cheaper employees. Control is another critical issue. As an employee, your life is never fully in your hands. It's like sitting on a chair placed in the back of a moving pickup truck, with no control over the driver. The moment something goes wrong, you feel the crash. Just look at what happened during the pandemic. Companies laid off employees, cut salaries, and treated survival as if it was the employee's fault. And let's not forget office politics, the silent trap that drains ambition and rewards compliance over creativity.